Hello guys, it's your boy Vexed again and welcome back to the channel. We are here for round 3 of the Super Formulas of the Ultimate Racing League. So we have visited Belgium and Spa-Francorchamps. In week 2 we visited Italy and Monza, the Temple of Speed. This week we are in Brazil and we are here at Interlagos. So without further ado, we'll have a quick look at the grid. So Pickle, he stood in, didn't he, in week 1. He's back again. He's managed to put it on pole. So he's on pole. We got Brian Moncani not far behind him in 2nd place. Wayne G in 3rd place. Lasco's there in 4th. We got Toten down in 5th. That's a bit out of the norm for Toten, but he's there. He's in 5th. Asbo is 6th. Mawson's 7th place. Vexed is in 8th place. Dan Bailey is in 9th. Petrol Junkie 10th. Palmer 11th. Hodgie is 12th. Smurf is 13th and Graham is in 14th. So we still have 2 people missing. I'm not quite sure who it is. Oh yeah, so we're missing Blue Blazer, and then we also have, I think Flash was going to do this, but he's not turned up for any race so far. So obviously there is still a slot open if either Ice Chand or Ginger Sam would like to stand in for the rest of the season. Or if we had somebody, I know somebody else was interested. I think it was Brian Moncani and Ginger Baxter. So yeah, if you guys want to get hold of us on the in the chat, and we can obviously instate you into the race. Without further ado, should we get into it? I think it's about time to get into the race, isn't it? Let's get into it. Klaxon sounded, the lights go out and they are off. Like Pickle getting a bit of a better start there. Oh, somebody off in the background went straight into the wall. I'm not sure who that was. I think it might have been Palmer. I'm not entirely certain. So this cat needs to get out of the fucking way. HRT Lacko managed to get a move done on Brian. He did it early. I think it was turn 1. So he's moved up to 2nd place. Brian has dropped to 3rd. We got Wayne G not far behind him in 4th place. Toten's still there in 5th. Vexed, he's there in 6th. He's getting pressured now by Asbo. Asbo was all over the back of him, wasn't he? And I think Molson was there as well, but Molson seems to have dropped a couple of places now. So Asbo is there in 7th. We got Palmer, he's in 8th, so it wasn't him who hit the wall, was it? Molson, he's in 9th. Oh, 8th even. He's managed to get through to 8th. So Asbo dropping to 9th. Petrol Junkie 10th. Smurf, he's in 11th. Hodgie 12th, and I think it was Dan Bailey. I'm sure it was a white livery, wasn't it, that hit the wall? So he's down there in 13th, and Graham in 14th. So we've got on board with Pickle. Pickle starting to extend that gap somewhat. He's been very fast, hasn't he, within practices, and he was very fast in that first race at Spa. He was putting Toten under pressure for the first 2 laps, and then had a bit of a mishap. Lacko and Toten, or is it no? Brian and Wayne G. Brian and Wayne G having a bit of a battle here. Brian managing to hold off Wayne G for a second. He's managed to creep onto the back of Lasco as well, so he's going to be looking for that move. We'll stay on board for a minute with Brian. He's trying to chase Lasco down, isn't he? He's also got Wayne G to contend with, so he's got a bit of a 2-way battle going on there at the moment, an offensive battle and a defensive battle, all at the same time. Most definitely got his work cut out. Wayne, sorry, closing right up onto the back of Brian there, but Brian covering off the inside nicely. There's not really anywhere for Wayne to go. I suppose we should have a quick check of tyres as well. So we've got Pickle out in 1st, he's on the softs. We got Lasco in 2nd, he's also on the softs. Brian's there in 3rd, he's on the softs. Wayne G, he's 4th, he's also on the softs. Vex has moved up to 5th place, so he's managed to get past Toten, who's dropped to 6th. I think Toten may be having a bit of a moment. Toten actually on mediums. Look like Vex having a bit of a wide line through there. I think he went a bit deep on the brakes, trying to stretch that gap to Toten, although it looks like he's started to create a bit of a gap now, doesn't it? He's started to stretch that a little bit. Toten, he's going to have his work out, isn't he, to try and stay with Vex, but I think being on the softer compound, I think Vex is just going to walk away for the minute for this first stint, early stage of this first race, the third race in this series. Round 3. Palmer's made his way up to 7th. He's on a bit of a charge, isn't he, on them mediums? So it looked like Toten actually going for a bit of a different strategy this week. He normally goes for the softs for the first stint, but opting for the mediums in this one. Round 3. Asbo, he's still there in 8th. So not losing that place just yet, but the rest of these guys need to try and catch up to the rest of the field. There is some gaps starting to form. You can see Pickle on the track map. He's way ahead of 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And then there's a gap between 4th and 5th. Petrol Junkie, not under any pressure by anyone. He's just going to be trying to keep up with these two ahead and maybe try and go for the move. He's on the mediums as well, so perhaps not quite finding his feet, finding his pace on the mediums just yet. Danny Bailey, he's managed to move through the 10th. Molson, he's dropped to 11th. He was making his way up through the field, wasn't he? I think he must have had a bit of an instant to find himself here in 11th, but we'll have to see how he fares later in the races. Hodgie's been very consistent all season, hasn't he? He's actually been had some decent points as well, a couple of decent results. See if he gets another good one here tonight. Graham's moved up to 13th, so he was in 14th, he's now in 13th. And Smurfy, still right on the back of him. I think he's been involved in an incident somewhere. I think we did get mentions that he was rear-ended by someone, but unfortunately we missed that incident. It will be reviewed by the stewards though, Smurf, you haven't got to worry about that. If there was anything untoward, then, you know, warranted penalty shall be given. Meanwhile, Pickle's putting the work in. He's managed to create a gap to Brian, and he's managed to hold it for the minute. He's in that Lotus livery. It's quite a nice livery on display, as are all the liveries this evening and all throughout the season so far. I know some people opting to change this round. I think Mawson, he's in the new W14 Mercedes livery, and I think Smurfy has also changed his current McLaren one for a different McLaren livery. So we've got Brian's still in 2nd place. He's managed to create a bit of a gap now to Lasco, so not having to worry about going defensive. Be interesting to see when these lads start to pit. I think they're going to try and stretch this first stint as long as they can. See how smooth Brian looked through that first sector. Absolute minimal inputs. Very nice driving there from Brian. So he's managed to get back past Lasco, because Lasco had managed to pass him, didn't he? He managed to get that move done on turn 1, I think it was. Oh, Lasco with a big lock up there. That was a huge lock up there from Lasco. That's gonna hurt him, or it's gonna hurt his tyres at least anyway. I don't think he would have felt it. Well, he would have done through the brake pedal. But yeah, he's not going to want to do that too many times, is he? Because he's going to end up with some flat spots and then all sorts of vibrations. And not the good ones. Wayne G. Wayne G, he's been very fast, hasn't he, in these super formulas all season as well. He's currently in 4th place. I'll try and pull the standings up before the end of the race so we can have a quick look at how the grid is standing at the moment. Vexed, he's currently in 5th. He's being chased down by Palmer in 6th, but not under too much pressure at the moment. Be interesting to see when he goes into the pit. We've seen he has been one of the earlier ones, I think, if I remember rightly. Oh, bit of a moment there from Vexed. Or is it just that stability again? It's funny, GT7 seems to be quite unstable within the lobbies. We haven't seen a lot of lag through some of the other games, but sticking with it. So Toten, he's still in 6th place, still trying to chase Vex down on their mediums. Vex was starting to pull away, but I think he's kind of lost a bit of that momentum now. And it looks like Toten has been, he's been working his magic on them tyres again, not pushing them too hard. Keeping it nice and smooth and consistent. And Palmer, he's there in 7th still. Having a great race so far as Palmer. And we're just past the 10-minute mark, so another 40 minutes of this race. Got ball with Asbo for a little bit, give Asbo spare time. Is there in that Schumacher library? I believe it's a Schumacher library. Ferrari. He's being chased down by Molson. He's going to be starting to sweat a bit. He's got Molson. He's not far away from him. I think Molson's in his slip now. Definitely going to be trying to work on a move, isn't he? Molson is. Looks like Toten may have actually gone to the back of Vex now as well, so we'll have to check in with them in just a second. Molson, he's on them worn softs, but you could actually see the grain in there in that shot. So yeah, them tyres are going to be, he's going to be starting to feel them tyres soon. Or the lack of grip, should I say. Oh, it's Danny Bailey. Danny Bailey's got a move done on Petrol Junkie. Petrol Junkie's off. He's gone onto the grass. He's trying to get it back on. He's got it started again. Oh, and he's spun it. That's unlucky, Petrol. Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey's moved up to 10th. Petrol Junkie's dropping down the order now. Hodgie's got through. Hodgie's moved up to 11th place. He's on the mediums as well, so he's going to be going for a long stint. Graham, he's not far behind him, is he? So Petrol dropping all the way down to last place. That's unlucky there from Petrol. That was a bit of a... I think that turn has caught a few of the drivers out this evening. I know it did. It caught Vex out a few times in practice. Petrol closing right up onto the back of Hodgie at that last braking zone. Hodgie definitely going defensive now. Sorry, Graham, not Petrol. Graham closing up in that braking zone. He's trying to chase Hodgie down. He's on the softer compound, but he is... Them tyres are a lot more worn than the medium compound are. And we see our first person go into the pits. So Pickle's gone into the pits. Brian favouring track position. He stayed out. Lasco as well. So Petrol Junkie, he dropped all the way down to 14th. Brian McCarty, he's moved through to the lead. Still on the softs, but he is going to have to pit soon, isn't he? So Pickle's dropped all the way down to 6th place. So Lasco's gone through to 2nd place. That's a big gap, isn't it, now, between Brian McCarty and Lasco. So I'm guessing Lasco definitely feeling the lack of grip from these softs. Wayne G. He's moved up to 3rd place. Still running that soft compound. Vexed as well, he's moved up to 4th place now. As a result of Pickle pitting. That was almost a bit of a tongue twister. How many pickles can a pickle pit if a pit could pickle pit? Pickle. And he's in 5th place. He's really making use of them mediums, isn't he? He's trying to put him under as little pressure as he possibly can. Save as much of that rubber. It's definitely paying off for him at the moment. He's still firmly with Vex, isn't he? Vex hasn't managed to break away even though he's on the softs. There's Lasco. Lasco's dived into the pits now. Is Vex going to stay out? And Vex has. Vex has stayed out again. So Vex going to move through to 3rd position. Toten's moved up to 4th. Palmer moving through to 5th place. And Asbo's 6th. This would be a great result for Asbo if he manages to keep it here. Might be his best finish so far this season. Or he does go a bit deep through there, that might land him with a slight penalty. Oh, it's Mawson manages to get that move done, he's gone through, and he has. Crucially, Asbo's picked up that 0.5 second penalty. Mawson moving through to 6th place, Asbo dropping to 7th. He's going to have Dan Bailey on the back of him soon as well. In fact, Dan Bailey's got Pickle for company. Oh, as he goes a bit deep through that last turn, is that going to give Pickle the momentum? He's closed right up, hasn't he? Pickle, he's looking for that move. He's going to try and make it past Dan Bailey, but is Dan Bailey going to hold on to 8th place? Pickle's getting ever closer, isn't he? You see him in the mirrors. I'm sure Dan Bailey is aware that he's right on him now. I think we're going to see the move come into turn 1. Yeah, he's covered off the inside. He's trying to cover it off. He moved to the outside. I think Pickle's going to get it down the inside, is he? And yeah, he does. He gets past easily. He's gone for the medium compound. So far, Pickle's used the softs and the mediums. So he's either going to take these to the end of the race or he'll be going on to the hards. Dan Bailey, we've seen how good he is on tyre wear as well, and managing to make them tyres last. Still currently on the mediums. I think Toten managing to get past Vex now as well, so I'm not sure if Vex has had a bit of a moment, maybe drop down the order. We'll have to check in. So Hodgie's there in 10th place. Doing alright at the moment is Hodgie, but he's getting pressured by Lasco. Lasco's right all over the back of him. Showing him the nose of that. I think it's another Schumacher liveried Super Formula. Obviously some of the guys going for the Honda, some of the guys going for the Toyota, but overall they are completely the same, like exactly equal on performance and the rest of it. So Lasco, he's going for the move now. He's managed to set it up. He's come alongside. He's going to have the inside into turn 1. I think Hodgie's going to back out, and he has. So yeah, Lasco taking that move easily. Hodgie maybe looking for the switchback, is he? Don't think he's quite close enough. Lasco, he's on that new set of rubber as well, isn't he? So he should be pulling away by all right, Sam. I think he is. So yeah, Hodgie, I think he's going to go into the pits in the next 4 laps maybe. I don't think he'll get a lot more out of them tyres. He's having to go defensive now against Petrol. Petrol's crept up onto the back of him. He's starting to put him under some pressure, isn't he? But Hodgie is driving really well tonight. He's trying to hold on to that 9th place. Petrol looking for a way through, but he's not managed to do it so far. Does look good on that car as well, doesn't it? That HSBC Bex livery. Petrol, he's there in 10th. He had a bit of a shaky start, didn't he? He lost a couple of places, but he's managed to make him up now. Currently in 10th. Wayne G, he's obviously pitted. He's back out on a... He's on a new set of softs. New set of mediums even. He had the softs before. So he's also gone softs mediums, so he will be on the hards if he decides to pit again and doesn't take these tyres to the end. Obviously we're not even at the 20-minute mark yet, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long he can make them tyres last. Smurf, he's currently in 12th, so he's made up a couple of positions. Still currently on the worn mediums. Graham's dropped to 13th. He's on some very worn softs now, isn't he? Trying to make the most out of them, or trying to get the most out of them, should I say. Currently in 13th, and Asbo, he's pitted as well. He's on a fresh set of mediums. He ran the softs for the first stint, so some of these guys, they're definitely trying to go for the long stint on them softs. Brian Carney, he's currently in first place, and look at his rear tyres. One of them's completely dead, the other one holding on for dear life. Oh, he has a big twitch. That's what you're going to be starting to see from a lot of these guys now, as their tyres are quite ruined. Toten, he's in second place, so moving past Vexed. Crucially on the mediums though, so he's going to be able to run them for a lot longer than Brian and Vexed. I think Vexed, yeah, he's still on that one set of softs, isn't he? I think he's losing time now to Palmer. I imagine we're going to see Brian Mancani head into the pits. Not too sure where he is currently. Let's just have a quick look. So yeah, he's coming up to the final sector now. I think this will be it. I think this will be it for them softs. I think he's going to dive into the pits. I imagine Toten, I think he's going to take out the lead, but I think the closest battle at the moment is here between Palmer and Vexed. Vexed using up all of his overtake. He had a bit of a moment there, deep on the brakes. Palmer nearly getting past him. Palmer's still right with him though. Palmer trying to put him under a lot of pressure now. Oh, he closed right up to the back of Vex then. Maybe a bit of contact. I think because Vex had to, he had to brake a bit more than Palmer. That maybe caught Palmer unawares a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Vex has gone into the pit. So Palmer's going to move through to third place. And Brian, he's still out on that one set of softs. Surely that's not going to help him too much though. I reckon he will definitely be pitting after this lap. He is coming through the final sector now. Toten, quite a way off the back of him though, so having a great drive at the moment is Brian. He's not going to lose that first place just yet. And Palmer's moved up to third place. He's still on the worn set of mediums, but we did say we thought the mediums would last a lot longer than the softs, as they do generally speaking throughout all the races. But yeah, the guys on the mediums, they're definitely going to get the overcut done for the minute on the guys on the softs. But which is going to be the best strategy this evening? We'll have to wait and find out. Slowly approaching the halfway mark. Pickle, he's on the mediums now. He's made his way up to fourth place. He was on pole. He's put it on pole, and he was leading for the first, well, for the first stint, for the first 15 minutes, I think, and then decided to pit, get rid of that softs, or get rid of them softs, taking on the medium set, dropped down the field a bit, but he's managed to find his way back up to fourth place. So he's doing all right at the moment, isn't he, Pickle? Lasco, he's now on the mediums. He had a good start, didn't he? I think he's pretty much where he was when he started, so it's definitely working out for him at the moment. Danny Bailey. Dan Bailey, he's in 6th. So he's made his way all the way up to 6th. I think he was quite far towards the back of the pack, wasn't he, when he started? As I said, I think he had a bit of a dodgy start, didn't he? I think maybe he forgot to put the traction on 1 for the start and spun the rear wheels up, ended up going into the wall, and bit of a shaky start, but he's making up for it now, isn't he? Wayne G had dropped all the way to the back, hadn't he, after that pit, but making his way back through the field again. Currently in 7th. There's not really any noticeable battles forming on the track as we speak. Petrol in 8th. I think these two are the closest to at the moment. Petrol still on that one set of mediums. I reckon give him another couple of laps and he'll probably be coming in. Hodgie's still also staying out on that medium, so great tyre management there from Hodgie. And Smurf's made his way up to 10th. Starting dead last, but he's in 10th at the moment. He's also on that worn medium compound. You can see the graining in the shot there. See if we can get a bit of a better shot. Yeah, you can see as they slow down, you can see there's a lot of graining on them tyres now. And Brian, he's only just pitted. That may have cost him, a bit of time. I think Toten may get past him. Mawson, 11th. Vexed, not too far behind him in 12th. Asbo is 13th. Graham is 14th. Oh, he's getting blue flagged. So Graham moving out of the way. Dan Bailey and Wayne G letting them two through. Oh, he's going to be getting blue flagged again. Letting, I think that was Petrol through. So Toten he's moved through to first place. Brian Moncani getting rid of them softs now. Toten is still on the medium compound. I wonder if he'll make them last as long as he does the softs. That'll be an extremely long stint if he does. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get 25 laps out of these tyres, to be fair. I imagine he's done the calculations already. Palmer moving up to 2nd place. Great racing there from Palmer. You can see I do think he is starting to struggle with them tyres though. They do look a little bit worn, don't they? And Pickle's up to 3rd. So I think he may have got past Lasco. I think Lasco must have had a bit of a moment, and Pickle's got past him, and he's created a bit of a gap. So yeah, Pickle's definitely on a bit of a charge now, isn't he? He's having a great race this evening. Lasco still in 4th place, but a bit of a gap between him and 3rd now. He's got his work cut out if he wants to catch up. Although maybe some of these guys are going to go for a 2-stop. Maybe go for the 2-stop strategy as opposed to the 1-stop. Obviously Interlagos with the windy nature of the track is going to eat through them tyres a bit quicker than it would on somewhere such as Monza or Spa even, where we've been so far. So some of the guys maybe even having a pit and come back out on the hards. Obviously only one set of each compound to be used during the race, and whatever set you choose to use for qualifying is the set that you will start on. You cannot use one compound more than once, so you can't pit on softs, on worn softs, and then come out on a fresh set of softs. But if you was to pit on your worn set and you wanted to come back out on your worn set, that's perfectly fine. That's still classed as one set. So Wayne G, he's moved up to 5th place. Wayne G. All these lads having a cracking drive tonight, aren't they? Dan Bailey's in 6th place, but he's starting to be challenged by Brian Moncani. Brian Moncani's already pitted as well, so he's going to be on a fresher medium compound. I wonder if Dan Bailey's going to give it up easily, or like move over for him, or if he's just going to try and hold Brian up as much as he can. Which he is still currently racing, so it's all fair to do so. He's all it's definitely fair for him to defend that position, I think is what I'm trying to say. Been a long day again. It's Brian McCartney, he's starting to put the pressure on Dan now, isn't he? I think all that Danny Bailey's going to be seeing is his rear view, well, his side mirrors full of that Mercedes Super Formula. Palmer's moved up to first place as Toten. He serves his pit. He's dropped all the way to 7th currently. So actually behind Brian Moncani as well. That could be crucial. That could mean that Brian manages to stay ahead of Toten. But what compound is Toten going to come out on? And he's coming out on the softs. So Toten is going to be going to work for sure. Brian McCartney still not managing to get past Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey seems to have found a second win on that worn compound of mediums, but I think he's going to be pitting this lap. I'm sure he's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. Stay on board with him for just a second. That's a nice view, isn't it? We can see behind using the side mirrors there. Obviously, if you're watching on a tablet or a phone, it's going to be a bit smaller than if you're watching on your regular TV, but I'm sure you can just about see Brian McCartney there. And he's chosen to stay out. So Dan Bailey choosing to stay out. He's got barely any fuel left in that Super Formula. Be interesting to see if he makes it. Let's go back to that view. Brian actually not having to use any of that overtake yet. I think I'd have been using at least a little bit of it to creep up onto the back of Dan and maybe go for a move down here. So it's not a bad place to go for a move. This turn here also a favourite of some people. Oh, Brian McCartney, he had a bit of a moment, didn't he? I don't think it's going to matter though. I think it's going to get past Dan Bailey anyway, as Dan Bailey peels off to the pits now. So yeah, Brian's going to take that position. He's moving up to 5th place. So Dan Bailey, he's gone into the pits. Mawson's moved up to 7th. How far behind him is Toten though? There he is. Can we see Toten? Yeah, we just see Toten creeping into shot there. Mawson is now on a newer set of mediums, but he's put a couple of laps on them now, so... And we saw Toten, he's only done a lap, hasn't he? I think it was the lap previous to this one that he pitted and took on that fresh set of softs. As Hodgie finally dives into the pit to get rid of their medium. So yeah, I said it, didn't I? Lap 25, or around about lap 25. Although maybe Toten going for lap 23 or 24. So he's moved up to 7th place. Palmer's dived into the pits now, so he's going to lose that first position. Pickle, sorry, he's moved back through. He was there at the start, wasn't he? He's had a great strategy so far. Pickle moving back up to 1st place. Big lock up there from Vexed. Asbo's there in 9th. His mediums are starting to look a little bit worn now though, aren't they? Just under 20 minutes left of this race. I think 16 and a half minutes left. So Asbo, he's not under any pressure by anyone at the moment. He's having a bit of a nice race. He's managed to keep the gap to the guys behind him and just getting his head down, trying to get onto the back of Vexed. Although there is a bit of work to do. Danny Bailey, he's just pitted. He's come out on a fresh set of softs. I think he's only put a lap. Well, we saw him pit, didn't he? He was ahead of Brian Moncani. Brian Moncani put in the pressure. He had a bit of a moment. Then we saw Dan peel off to the pit as Brian Moncani took up that position. Dan Bailey dropping to 10th place now. But he is on that new set of softs, so he's going to be putting them through their paces. We've seen Dan Bailey he's had some solid strategies, hasn't he, so far this season. He's had some decent results, so be interesting to see where he finishes tonight. Smurf, he's still there, he's in 11th. So he's only lost one place. He lost that 10th place to Dan Bailey, but he's still doing alright, isn't he? Still in the points. I mean, points rewarded to everyone, but he's still on some decent points with 11th. It's not to be scoffed at. Petrol. It's like Petrol starting to try and make the most of Brian Moncani's slipstream there. He's trying to get onto the back of the rest of the guys. Maybe try and catch up with Dan Bailey or Smurf. We went on board with him earlier, didn't we? He had a bit of a moment and dropped all the way to the back of the field, but he's managed to fight his way back up to 12th. And as I say, I think he's trying to stick with Brian Moncani. He's trying to make the most of his slipstream and use the toe to get onto the back of the rest of the field, but I think he's just lost it slightly. I think he's only just out of slipstream range now. Hodgie, after serving that pit, he's dropped to 13th, but he's on that soft compound. Not many laps in it at all, so I don't know if he's going to be looking to take him to the end of the race, but he's going to be trying to get some pace out of them, I'm sure. Graham currently in 14th. Oh, as he has a bit of a moment there, a little bit of a lock up as well. He's got a tiny bit of that sideways porpoising going on that we saw with Vexed. Some of the lobby stability issues. Graham Ali actually getting blue flag now. So who was that? So Pickles currently in first. I think it was Palmer. Yeah, so Palmer being chased by Molson. They're coming up to the back of Graham now. I'm sure Graham will move over once they get closer. Obviously they're not close enough to him at the moment for him to be causing an issue. Go on board with Pickle for just a second. So Pickle, he's currently in first place. He's had a great race this evening so far. He's currently got the fastest lap of 1 minute 14.756. As Lasco dives into the pit, so he's going to extend that gap even more. Brian Moncani, Wayne G moves through to second place. Brian Moncani has moved through to third place. We'll go on board with Wayne G in just a second. I just want to see if Pickles pits on this lap, because I have seen that he got rid of them softs quite early, didn't he? Some of the guys running the softs for quite a few laps. I want to say maybe 18 laps. I think he got rid of them around lap 14 or 15. So it'll be interesting to see if and when he decides to get rid of them mediums. I imagine he'll be going on to the hards when he does. And he's gone into the pits now. So Wayne G's going to get through, isn't he? He's got Brian Moncani not too far behind him. Brian's going to be starting to pick up that slipstream. Wayne G, he's on the worn mediums. As you see there on the board on the left hand side, Wayne G has moved up to first. Brian Moncani's there in second. Petrol still trying to hang on to Brian's slipstream. I think maybe he is just slightly within tow range. Because you would have thought that gap would have extended somewhat already, but he's still there, isn't he? So, oh dear. So it looks as though Pickle has actually gone for a second set of softs, which is unfortunately going to end him up with a 5-point penalty. Unless he chooses to pit again and take on the hards, which will result in a warning. We've had a couple of people get caught out by the one set of each compound rule so far. And he wasn't with us last week, to be fair, so... So Brian Moncani, he's still on the back of Wayne G. He's not managed to close that gap up, really. Although it does look like he might be creeping onto the back of Wayne G. Wayne G's tyres are a bit more worse for wear. Brian's got a lot more fuel there than Wayne G, so Wayne's going to be having a pit for fuel, isn't he? I'm almost certain. Oh, Brian Moncani closing right up onto the back of Wayne G there. Almost a bit of concertina through the corner, but great driving by both of these guys not to come together. A brilliant awareness. Wayne G, it looks like he's peeled over to the left here. He's going into the pits. So he's going to get rid of that worn set of mediums. Brian Moncani's moved through the first place. He's still got Petrol Junkie with him though. Petrol Junkie's still holding on for dear life. Please take me with you, Brian, please. I'm sure that's what he's saying. Wayne G. Changes tyres. He's putting fuel in though, isn't he? So we'll come back to him in just a second. Palmer's moved through to third place. So he's managed to get through past Wayne G as well, and there we go, see Wayne G's coming out on the hards. Six minutes left of this race, just under. So this is a great result on here at the moment for Palmer, looking like it. If he manages to hold on to this third place, then that'd be some awesome driving. Absolutely brilliant. Pickle. Oh dear. Pickle picking up a 0.5 second penalty. And he's on that second set of soft compounds, which is a big no-no. Oh, and he's diving in to change his tyres again, so that will result in a warning for this time only, because he only used that set of softs for one lap. He's come straight back in to go onto the hards. So that luckily, fortunately for Pickle, will only result in a warning. Normally it would just be a 5-point penalty added onto your points tally, or taken away from your points tally. He's dropped a few places there, hasn't he, as well? So Palmer, yeah, he was in third. Mawson's moved through to fourth place. Wayne G. So Mawson actually managing to get a move done on Wayne G, or did he get past him in the pits? I think he did. I think maybe Mawson got past in the pits. Or did he just manage to get a move done on Wayne G? Not sure, but Wayne G is on that hard compound, isn't he? It wasn't a lot slower in testing. I mean, it is slower. It is the slowest compound, obviously, but not huge margins. Lasco, currently in 6th place. That is Wayne G, you can see ahead of him. He's also on the hards though, although he may have used a bit more of them, so perhaps more within their optimum grip levels at the moment than Wayne G's. He'll be getting there though, won't he? Vexed, he's in 7th currently, lap 35. He's on that worn set of mediums. I think he's probably going to be looking to take these to the end. Bit of a lonely race here for Vexed at the moment. He's in a bit of no man's land. I think he's just trying not to make any mistakes now. Pickle. That's unlucky there for Pickle, getting caught out by the tyre rule, but he chose to actually go in and change onto the hard compound, so fair play to him. It's going to hurt his position in this race though, isn't it? As I say, it was unlucky Pickle. Petrol. So Petrol, he was in that slipstream of Brian Moncani. He has managed to get onto the rest of the field now. He's actually overtaken Asbo, so moving up to 9th place now. Asbo dropping to 10th. So yeah, great driving, great strategy there from Petrol. As we saw a bit of a lock up there from Graham just ahead of him. Here's Asbo. Asbo looking like he's on quite worn mediums now. I'm sure he's going to probably try and take him to the end though, isn't he, with it being so close to the end of the race. Although he's got quite low fuel as well though. Not sure if he's going to have enough fuel. Oh, it's Graham. I think Graham having to serve a penalty. So Asbo managing to get back past him. Oh no, in fact, I think Graham's been lapped. Hodgie getting blue flag now. Toten, he's in 2nd place. Hodgie currently in 11th. Hodgie actually still on the racing line at the moment. Oh, has he moved over? I think he's moved over. He's moved over, but Toten hasn't managed to get through. He's still currently behind him. Not actually really close enough to be causing any issues. I'm sure Hodgie will move over when it's appropriate. There you go. Letting Toten through there. So he did possibly could have backed off on the start finish straight, but we'll have to let the stewards deal with that one. Moving out of the way there for Palmer as well. So that was your 2nd place battle. Toten and Palmer. Palmer actually looking like he's got a better set of tyres. But I think hard to call, but I think Totem was held up slightly coming through this first sector. There was a bit of a bigger gap, wasn't there, between Palmer and Totem. Palmer, he's now within that slipstream range, closing right up there through the braking zone. The pressure is on now for second place. And we are going to be coming up to the final lap. I think this might well be... I think Brian may actually manage to get through and start another lap. I'm not sure whether these guys will though. Toten and Palmer. Brian, I think he's just crossed the start finish line now, so he will be doing a lap of honour. I think the battle is going to be between these two guys. Are they going to cross the start finish line as well? And they actually do. They managed to get through, so they're going to do another lap, another final lap. Palmer's managed to get through as well. They're coming up to a back mark. Is that a back marker? I think they're coming up to a back marker. Yeah, back marker's getting blue flagged. That's Asbo. He's moved out of the way. Oh, Palmer. Palmer goes for a lunge. There was contact there. He's let Totem retake the position. Is your race leader and your winner. There's Brian Mancani. He's brought it home, and then there's Toten and Palmer. Toten and Palmer having a bit of a ding dong here. They're getting their elbows out. We've seen a bit of contact between these two previously in the lap. Palmer really starting to put Toten under pressure on that. He's got some. Oh no, Toten's lost it.